Hey, what's up guys, Weebly YouTube here, back with another video. As we know, the Cosmo Blazer sneak peek is coming up in 7 days, and we still don't know all the TCG exclusives. However, we do know some of the rarities of the cards that are currently listed. So I'm just going to go through what I feel some of the prices are going to be for these cards, and what cards to watch out for and to get your hands on as soon as you can. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first card we're going to be looking at is Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King. Apologies for the sample image. So basically, he's the rank 4 XYZ in the deck that allows you to negate face-up effects. I don't presume that he'll be at any more than 2 copies in the deck. Nevertheless, I do expect his price to be somewhere upwards of $25 to $30 when he first comes out, and that might increase over time depending on the demand for the deck. So in anticipation of the release of Lord of the Chakyan Galaxy and the Phantom Beastcraft archetype, they are releasing Heart Earth Dragon early. Basically, he requires 3 level 9 monsters. His effect is ridiculous. You can look it up on the wiki page if you're unsure about it. But if you do manage to get an ultra rare or an ultimate or indeed a ghost rare edition of this card, I would hold on to it for as long as you can, because you will definitely be able to make use of it in the next set. So I would estimate at this point, or at least until the next set comes out, about a $10 to $15 value. So I would definitely try and get your hands on him now while he's still cheap. So at least on Dueling Network, the Haze Beasts are actually quite popular. Fire Fists are going to overshadow them, of course, because they're the new up-and-coming hit archetype that everyone wants to try out. However, they cannot make use of rekindling like the Haze Beasts can. And Haze Beasts are more for those Hieratic Dragon type players who like to kind of special summon spam level 6 monsters and overlay with them and so forth. In fact, there is a deck that runs 3 Tefnuts and 2 Sus in the deck. Nevertheless, Haze Beast Basilicock is what everyone will be after. His effect is basically like a BLS, and the more materials he has, the more effect he gains. I would expect no more than a $25 to $30 value. Nevertheless, I would still try and get your hands on 2 of them early while they are still cheap. So the staple card at 3 in the Fire Fist deck is Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. Of course, people are going to be running 3 copies of him and 3 copies of Gorilla, but Bear is the one that they made ultra rare. I'm actually thankful that it is only an ultra rare. However, it is probably going to be one of the most valuable ultra rares in quite a while. Like Insector Hornet as a super rare was $40, I expect this guy to be upwards of $40 or $50 as well, at least upon first release. So I would definitely try and get your hands on multiple copies of them during the sneak peek weekend if you can. But the card that everyone is going to be talking about is Fire Formation Tenki. I expect this to be a secret rare without a doubt, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to be extremely surprised. And even if it isn't, I think its value is going to be extremely high, simply because it is a generic searcher card for Beast Warriors. It can search up the Fire Fist monsters, it can search up Tech Genis cards, it can search up Wind Up Rabbit, for God's sake. So I definitely expect to see it in decks, at least at 1 copy. And I fully expect it to be hit by the ban list as well, because it is just a ridiculous card. It allows you, in Fire Fist at least, to search, to summon the monster and then to send it to +1 off your opponent by destroying one of their monsters or one of their spells and traps. That alone makes it worth at least $40, but I expect to see it being worth a lot more in the coming days. So what some people believe to be the replacement of Effect Failure is definitely going to get a lot of hype and a lot of attention during this upcoming sneak peek weekend. I expect it to be around a $30 value at first, although I could be completely wrong about this. Again, I'm just kind of making an estimate because Effect Failure is by no means obsolete. It's just that in decks that are more trap heavy and that can kind of play the psychological game with their opponent, Breakthrough Skill is perhaps more useful. Also, in the likes of Chaos Dragons where you mill it, you do get a second use out of it, so it is a little bit more versatile. Also, of course, the fact you can activate it during your opponent's battle phase, or indeed during any phase. So perhaps a $30 to $35 value initially. So like the other Elemental Lords, Pyrex follows the same pattern. He's probably going to be secret rare. He's probably going to be really expensive when he first comes out. But as soon as people realize that he isn't nearly as broken as Moon Glacia was, indeed not searchable, and of course he doesn't discard cards out of your opponent's hand, his effect is actually quite mediocre. I'd say his value will dip to about $20. But initially his value is going to be quite high, so I probably want to try and get your hands on him initially. Another secret rare card that everyone is talking about is, of course, Diamond Dire Wolf, a generic rank 4 beast XYZ with 2000 attack, 1200 defense. He basically acts like a scrap dragon for all beasts, winged beasts, and beast warriors. And that's basically the next 4 archetypes that are coming out. All their types are based around that, so I'm really excited about this guy. I would definitely try and get your hands on him early, because if you don't, everyone's going to be picking them up. Secret rares are really hard to come by, as we know, and his value is probably going to skyrocket as a result. So I would definitely keep one, hold on to it if you manage to get your hands on one, if you were that lucky. I would estimate $70, $75 value. And finally we have Lightning Clover. I expect it to be popular, but not just yet. Nevertheless, as I have said, if you manage to get your hands on cards that aren't necessarily useful now, but that will be useful in the future, I would hold on to them for dear life. Because Phantom Beastcrafts are going to be really, really popular. I can tell right now, after only using them and doing it for about a month or so. And I can definitely tell that Lightning Clover is going to be a staple in every extra deck or at least the decks that build the deck around XYZs and not around synchro monsters. So his effect is when he's summoned, you get to target a set card your opponent controls, put it at the bottom of the deck, and then you can detach to put a face-up card at the top of the deck. Really, really trolly. I expect his value to be about $30. Anyway guys, that is it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe as always. As I say, I cannot predict these values with 100% accuracy. I just feel that these are the cards people are going to be looking out for the most, and these are the cards that are going to be kind of ridiculously valued, or at least decently valued, when they are first released. I will be at a sneak peek next weekend. I will be at a sneak peek on Saturday and Sunday, in fact, and I will have a report from both of those probably in a single video. And be sure to let me know how your own sneak peeks go and if you have any cool stuff for trade. Talk to you guys later. Peace out.